Well, guys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Sweden has officially done it. While everyone was distracted, this is what they're slowly trying to implement literally into your country as we speak. And this is why everything is happening by design, so that they can implement this solution. Just stick around and watch.
When Elias Brotberger goes to work, he doesn't need ID. And he doesn't need money. In fact, much of what he needs to get through the day is hidden right there, just below the surface, in his hand.
You like to touch it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, weird. Yeah, it's like a grain of rice.
Yeah, a grain of rice.
Embedded in his hand is a microchip that serves as his keys, his ID, and his wallet.
Yeah, it's all in chip, so I use it like to get around the building.
Buy snacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's buy some snacks.
Exactly.
So I can't open it.
No.
Okay.
So what I need to do is I need to first blip my chip, and it will log me in, and from there I get access to the fridge.
In Sweden, the microchips are already here.
The microchip implants use the same technology that's in contactless credit cards.
Which have made cash pretty much obsolete in Sweden.
No cash.
Process is simple and swift. A pinch of the skin, and in a matter of seconds, the chip is inserted. The transformation is complete.
In the future, do you think everyone is going to be chipped?
I think it'll be voluntary, but I am certainly convinced that millions of people will find it very, very valuable to have a smart device under their skin.
When microchipping may be our future, but in Sweden, it's already reality.
Shalom, shalom, Israel, coming back at you at another lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying. First off, giving all praise, all honor, all glories to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, and all the teachers out there pushing his word in truth, with truth and sincerity. May you be of the elect. Shalom to all the Akim and the Akwath out there listening and learning. You Israelites, so-called Negroes, Hispanic, Native, and Seminole Indians, who are the true children of Israel, as well as you speckled bird, Israelite foreigners. The Israelites that look like, act like, and take on the customs of all these heathen nations. So to you, I say Shalom, and may you be of the elect. This lesson is brought to you by the Spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the true name of our fathers, the God of the Bible, the God of the Israelites. Ba'ashem meaning in the name, and Yahweh Shai being the only begotten Son of Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls by the name of JC. And this lesson is a good shout out to Bishop Nathaniel of IUIC. I mean, I know June is come and gone and everything, but you know, the micro C-hip is a big thing in Sweden, and it's been happening for quite some time. You know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all through the week, right? All month, every year, for the past few years, or so on and so forth. The M.O.T.B and the B is a thing, man. But you know, let's get it. Hold on. Name of this lesson: Sweden and the M.O.T and the B. Sweden and the M.O.T and the B. Okay, Nathaniel. Bishop Nathaniel of IUIC. It's June. Ain't no microchips. No, that's pretty prevalent over there in Sweden, man. It's only a matter of time before it takes hold in America to be on the same level. I mean, I'm sure there's quite a bit of people right now with you know, the micro C hip in their flesh right now. But the thing about it, it's not mandatory. Once it becomes a mandatory thing, right? That's what the prophets were speaking about. Okay, the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter. This is what it's speaking about, right? That hour of temptation. That's a big deal, man, because you know anybody taking this thing, right? These people have taken it, and you know this is their, you know, this is the wave of the future. This is This is top security because it's within us. We don't have to, someone's going to have to steal us in order to be able to use, this thing within our body to access my home or access my accounts or access my social media or access my, you know, my funds or, gain entry to this job or, this store or be able to buy these products, you know, to be able to vote, whatever. Whatever you can think of is going to be within these chips that's going to be embedded in people's bodies. Okay, and the world is leaning towards these things because it's convenience. Okay, you don't have to worry about losing anything because it's you. You can't lose yourself. Lose myself in the music, the moment. You know, you know, you can't do that. So it's a convenience, and that's what a lot of people in this world have. Ideally become dependent upon is convenience, such as a microwave versus using an oven, or going to a fast food joint versus cooking at home. It's convenience. You know, uh, uh, planting your child in front of a TV or an iPad, you know, or a nanny versus you spending time with your child. You know, board games versus Nintendo. That type of shit. It's convenience, right? And when you have convenience for things, your mind becomes weaker because it no longer has to get stronger because everything is it's already is it's insta this and insta that. I remember when I was growing up, phone numbers, shit, you memorized them. We didn't have phones where you could do a speed dial. We didn't have that. You memorize a bunch of phone numbers. You know, but now things are a convenience. You could just plug it in your phone. I know people for years now, and I got their number on my phone. You tell me right now, recite their number, can't do it. All I got to do is look their number up and push dial, and there's a phone number. There's their information. There's whatever you know that I need, and I can speak to them. I don't have to memorize anything, and that's the problem. That's convenience. But that's what's happening with this chip, right? When people get this chip, it's a convenience, so they think. All right, but all it is, that's just another device that this devil has put upon the world to embrace. Okay, because again, this is gonna be their credit debit card. This is gonna be their fucking medical billing and coding. This is gonna be their fucking financial footprints, everything. Your whole life literally is going to be on this device. But here's the thing: who runs the world? Right? The earth was given into the hands of the wicked. So we understand that, and they give you this device. Well, all right. What happens if you decide one day, fuck the man? You don't take heed to what Esau is telling you to do. You don't you don't you know you forgot that you once upon a time had a thing called bills and that your name is attached to an account and you are an account number, and if you don't pay those bills on time, that they will cut your bills off. So what do you think is going to happen when you don't comply against what Esau is telling you to do? And he says, what's that person's name? Fuck their name. What's their account? Yeah, turn off their account until they comply, or until I feel good and ready to turn it back on for them. And they're one of millions, so they'll be lucky if I remember them. So he can cut your fucking shit off, and you starve to death in your house because you decided, you know, to not go by what Esau is telling you to do. You didn't comply to him. So all these people in the world have it right now as optional. But one day it's going to be, not optional. It's going to be mandatory. And, if you get it, this is the trick. If you get it, you have forfeited your soul for salvation. Right? So you wacky tacky Christians, so you can have some understanding on that. But to the raw and truthfulness of it, the salvation is only for the Israelites, no one else. It's only for the Negroes, Hispanic, Native, Seminole Indians, no one else. Right? And even then, if anyone takes the micro C hip, you do not get salvation. You have automatically forfeit your soul. Okay? But anyway, let's get this lesson, man. Revelation 3:10 through 11. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Right? And again, I bring that up because the whole world is going to be tried with this. Right now, there's a lot of people that are getting it just because, or maybe they had a job where they had to get it. I don't know, but it's on a mass scale, it's optional, right? Is the point. But one day it's going to be mandatory, where it's, you know, sorry, ma'am, you can't access here unless you have this, and that's what the scripture talks about, you know. Matter of fact, just to get um, for those that don't know, all right, this is Revelation 13. I'm gonna read 16 through 18. It says, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? Pretty much anywhere in the body, all right? He causing, to have all this, this system, this B system is gonna have this RFID chip, right? And the MO to the T and the B, really, that you can have it in you're gonna have it in your body, right? And you're not gonna be able to buy anything or sell anything unless you have this. You're not gonna be a participant in society unless you have this chip, all right, which is the MO to the T and the B, right? No matter what anyone says, right? The MO to the T and the B is these little rice grain size things to be implanted in our bodies. Same thing they put in your pets, right? To locate your pet is the same thing they're gonna put in people, all right? Uh, um, to basically have more control over them, because you think it as a convenience, but it's just more an easier way to control everybody. All right, much like a electric vehicle, everybody think, oh, this is the wave of the future. Once again, if you don't fucking comply, all you gotta do is look up your account number and turn that shit off. Or if he really want to be a fucking evil monster, he can do an EMP, electric magnetic pulse, and shut down the electric system, shut down any EVs, any fucking planes in the area, drones, right? So all that shit come crashing the fuck down. All right, you shit dry, shut down on a fucking highway. You're in the middle of nowhere. It's freezing cold out. You got an EV, shit that's shut down. Yeah, well, it'd be nice to have some fucking fuel, a fueled vehicle that probably shut down with gas or whatever, and you could probably siphon something. Right? You got an EV, you fucking through, man. Right? And that's what the world is thinking. Convenience. Yeah, well, convenience is a big problem. Right? Look at all the pets in the fucking wild versus pets in the zoo. A pet in a zoo, or I shouldn't even say a pet, an animal in the zoo. Excuse me, an animal in the zoo versus an animal in the wild. An animal in the zoo is going to be lazy. He's going to forget how to hunt because everything's being handed to him. The convenience. All he got to do is show up, fucking sleep, piss, and shit, and do it again the next day. Animals in the wild gotta go hunt that shit down. They gotta keep those primal instincts. They gotta remember, you know, how to track. They gotta remember, when's the best time to attack. They gotta remember, what an animal looks like when it's the weakest one in a whole fucking big herd. You know, which one to look at, which one to go for. They got to know these things. But an animal in a zoo, he's not gonna be thinking that. He's thinking convenience. You don't have to hunt shit. He didn't have to. He didn't have to stalk nothing. He didn't have to waste no breath panting while he ripped the body open. Trying to eat it. He didn't have to do none of that. All you gotta do is show up. This fucking human being gonna give me this bowl full of food, and I'm just gravy. Smile for the fucking camera. But that's this world, man. Convenience. That's why they're gonna get the MO to the T to B. All right. So again, Revelation 13:16 says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 score and six. And there was a time that the Bill Gates had he had um, an account number, right, or like a barcode number that was WO 2020 uh 060606 or something to that effect. I believe that's what it was. Uh, WO as in World Order 2020 to implement it 060606. That was the name of that cryptocurrency, right? Um, so there you go, you know. But again, point being, this particular device is going to be tried on the whole world. That is going to be that hour of temptation, right? Because it might be a point to where you starving or you're thirsty and you ain't had nothing to eat or drink in a week, and he's going to present this to you. Well, you look pretty hungry, you look pretty thirsty. If you want to eat your fill, you want to drink your fill, you want a roof over your head, a warm bed, right? A roof over your head, don't have to worry about the elements. All you gotta do is take this chip. And that's, a lot of people, that's gonna sound like fucking gravy, man. They're gonna be like, hell yeah. Because again, convenience, right? And people don't have any faith towards Yahweh Shema Shai. So they're gonna take it and they're through, right? But that's pretty much again, this MO to the T and the B is out there. It's out there. It's been out there. So I don't know what IUIC is looking at, okay, because it's out there, and again, it's not mandatory right now, but it's it's a big deal out in Switzerland, in Sweden. Okay, it's only a matter of time before it sweeps its way, because these Edomites, they're all about trends, and they're culture vultures, so they're gonna be like, oh hell yeah, let's do it. Before you know it, everybody chipped and dipped, man. All right. I read that Revelation. Right, this is Judas, and this is the people's mindset. This is going to be the mindset why they took it, right? Because they have no faith, and they don't want to be starving, they don't want to be thirsty, they don't want to be desolate, they don't want to have none of that. They don't want to go through the dearths, right? So they're gonna complain like they did in the past. All right, this is Judas 7:27. It says, "For it is," and this is again the mindset of the people. For it is better for us to be made a spoil unto them, right? When they come in, that when the enemy comes in like a flood, and they have their martial law, right, and start taking us in, right, to them FEMA camps and such. For it is better for us to be made a spoil unto them than to die for thirst. For we will be his servants, that our souls may live. Right? So anybody trying to live, all right, anybody trying to save their life is gonna lose it. But if you lose your life for Yahweh Shai's sake, you'll get life. Okay? But that's the mindset of these people. There's desperation. All right? For it is better for us to be made a spoil unto them than to die for thirst. For we will be his servants, that our souls may live and not see the death of our infants before our eyes, nor our wives, nor our children to die. See, that's gonna be the mindset of these people. Why they took it? They took it because they got a family to feed. Um, they're used to their social circles. They want to be a part of society. All right, they want to be able to eat when they want to. They want to be able to drink when they want to. And this is the delusion that they think that they're going to continue to have. This devil ain't going to keep letting people just go around freely the way it is, and he's being exposed like this. He's going to have to put some control to this shit. All right? you know? But that's going to be this is gonna be the same mindset as these niggas was back then, is the same mind frame that they're going to be in today, along with the rest of these heathens. They rather take the M.O. to the T and the B, because they don't want to go through the inconvenience. They don't want to go through the struggle. They don't want to do that. They're used to the convenience. They need that convenience. They need that. And for a lot of people, it's true. They need those things, right? They need electronics. They need a screen in their face, right? They need to gamble. They need to go to the fucking titty club, right? Yeah, they need to get a fix. There's people like that, man, right? They need to call themselves a preacher and gain all these people as their tribe, as it were. They need that because they need to feel important. But if you ain't doing the works of Yahweh Shemel Shai, you're gonna be nobody regarded anyway. But anyway, uh, that's pretty much the point, man. This is out there. The chip is out there. For Bishop Nathaniel to, you know, think otherwise is ridiculous. And anybody still following, believing him when, when the news is there, they're just willingly ignorant, and no other way around it. So with that, hey, Lord willing, this is edifying, giving all praise, all honor, all glories to Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, and all the teachers out there pushing the word and truth with truth and sincerity. May you be of the elect. Stay prayed up, repent, Ababa Ball, Kwame Yasharala Shalom.